Welcome to the Pretty Red ENT Show. It's your girl goddess Nikita, aka Pretty Red ENT. And I'm sending love and light into the world. And if no one told you they loved you today, no, goddess Nikita loves you, okay? So this is just like, I want to address this, okay? I don't know the topic I'm going to put forward until like I'm done. But here's what I will say. I woke up and I'm like, all right, let me get up. And I get on Facebook, okay? I'm on Facebook and I don't really like watching like people's stories for real on Facebook because I feel like sometimes like some of my Facebook friends are toxic, but I don't allow toxicity on certain pages. Okay. Like, so if I know you toxic, you won't be added to like my main page where I scroll. Okay. And that's just my personal thing. Like, I just don't like that. Like, hey, you say random stuff that's not like uplifting. Your page is not always uplifting. You're not always uplifting. Guess what happens? I typically won't allow you on my main page. It's no disrespect to you or anything like that. It's just more like, I'm cool. You feel me? Like, I'm really 100% cool. I just don't want to see that. You could be on my other pages, fine. I get on them too. I'm just not on there like I am my main page. I really don't do social media. So if you're telling me, hey, I posted something to a party and you're like, hey, you didn't come to my party. I'm like, whoa, I didn't know about it. I posted on Facebook. And I know that I look at you and you look at me and I notice that you're not on my main page. You can never get mad that I didn't participate in something that you had and you're not on my main page. I probably didn't even see it at all. So here you go upset about something that literally has nothing to do with me. Okay, it's just that I really didn't see it. And if you want me to be invited to something, you got to personally invite me. Call me. Say, hey, I'm having a party. You want to come? I'm like, oh, okay. Like, thank you. So, anyways, back to what I got to say. Shots fired. Because this is the real right here. I want to talk about it. Guys, it's 2023. Men, if you're gay, come out the closet. It's time to come out the closet, bro. If I hear a man put down on a woman, if I hear a man talk about a woman, okay, to me, you don't like women. You don't like women. There's no way in hell you like women if you're talking about them, okay? You talk about anything that's wrong with them and you're making fun of something about them. To me, you don't like women. So come on out of the closet. Come join us. You feel me? You like sucking dick? Come on in. You feel me? Because we love doing that. You like pleasing men to do that. Please men. Because obviously you don't want to please women. Okay, and what do I mean by that? Let me give you a prime example, okay? Let's talk about it. So I'm on Facebook, and there is a guy I used to work with at the casino. And he posts this. And I made sure I screenshot it, because I know I don't be perping, but, I also don't believe in, I don't sneak this either. So this person knows who they are or whatever. But this is just this is a real conversation that I had with this person. I said, this person posted, I guess 4 hours ago. They say, girl, I'm going to give my son the world. Guy, you couldn't give him a dad. Stay humble. And starts laughing with fire signs. Okay, I'm thinking to myself, wow. You mean to tell me you're okay with giving and saying this? Okay, I don't even know how to explain it. I don't even know where we're going to go. To me, as a woman, I read this. I'm thinking to myself, so you a woman? Do you like women? I'm just reading this. It just makes me, I was like, y'all understand? Just like, it's really crazy to me because to the men that I have dated, I have never, and the men I have dated, we talk about everything. I have never heard a man that I dated talk about women like this. Like ever. You feel me? But at the same time, I didn't hear him say this to little baby. Little baby said, I'm going to give the world to my little boy. You ain't say to little baby like, ow. I don't never hear women say to little baby, well, you couldn't give your little boy a mom. Stay humble. Like, you know, I'm really confused. It's like you're holding women at a standard that you're not holding men at. Because technically, if you're holding this standard for women, where's your standard at for men? Because what happened? What are you saying to the father that's actually not there in that child's life? Like you're actually making fun of a child at some point. And that's the problem that I have, that most people, a perspective that they really don't see. Here you go, talking about a mom who's taking on a responsibility of someone else's half, okay? So now she has to do her half and another man's half. But yet, this child don't have a father at this point, okay? Now, are you making fun of the child? Or are you making fun of the mom? Because she said, hey, I'm going to give the world to my son, despite the world was taken from him. A part of his world isn't complete, but she's like, I'm willing to make it complete. And here you go making fun of this woman for doing a man's part? I'm sorry. Hello? Like, what's going on here? Obviously, I don't think you like women, and I think you gay. And that you need to just come out and be clear, like, you know what? I don't want to date a woman. I just want to date a man. Okay? So let me tell you what happened with this conversation, because I feel like, you know, I say stuff and people be like, oh, well, this must be you. Nah, you don't know if this is me or not. This is me just saying to you that maybe you don't realize what you're doing and saying to women and posting on your page about women, that it might be offensive. Or you might be doing shit to women and not really dating them because of this. Okay, so prime example. Now, this will make me think that this man has, one, mama issues. Two, maybe he didn't get love properly. Even if he had both parents in the house, I feel like maybe he didn't get love properly somewhere by dad. He got daddy issues too. Okay, because it's like, hey, maybe your dad put your mom down, so you feel like it's okay to put women down. Think about it. So I said, this is the most disrespectful thing ever. Like, this is just disrespectful. A woman can't make a man be a father, and doing a man's half ain't always easy either. This is sad that people make jokes about this. This man says, welcome to the world. Some get offended and others don't. Life goes on. Everyone's responsible for who they decide to have a child with. I said, making fun of a woman is the most disrespectful thing a man can do in 2023. Okay? Especially if you, like, say for instance, you're saying this and you're making a statement for, like, how can I put it? The divine feminine energy. Because a female, whether or not she still is a divine femme. Okay, a woman who's born with a womb is a divine femme. Whether she wants to identify as a masculine or not, that's her own choice. But, you know, because I'm an Aries, so I'm automatically a masculine sign by default. So I have divine masculine inside of me, but I also identify as a divine femme. Okay? Because I am one. There's no way we're getting around that. Okay, so it was like, So then, he said everyone's responsible for who they decide to have a child with. I wrote back, do you have children? I know this particular person doesn't, so I was just asking. Because I'm petty like that. Super petty. And it ain't nothing like, hey, I'm being petty. No, I'm asking you, do you have children? Because now I'm letting you know what you're doing wrong. Okay? So he goes to say, it's called accountability. Not here to debate with you. Your opinion is yours, and what I choose to post is mine. Life goes on, which is true. But I'm just asking, like, in general, like, you feel me? Like, what are you doing? Why are you posting something like this? This is dumb. 2023, you're making fun of women? Like, really? That means you're gay to me. Okay, anyways. I said a man in 2023 should never make fun of a woman, a divine femme, or energy zone high. That's like disrespecting Mother Earth herself and God, which is facts. I said, and then I said, it's called accountability. I said, just asking a question, that's all. Because I was like, you skipped over the point of me asking you, do you have children? And he said, and I said, in your post, there was no accountability for the man at all. And he said, laughing my ass off, this mother Earth talk. So basically, no one should be held accountable. Just turn a blind eye. This must be too personal for you. I never said this was personal for me. And so here's the thing. He must have been trying to be personal to women who is single in the home. Because to me, you didn't, most single parents and our parents in general, mothers have this, whether the father's in their life, mothers say this to their children all the time. Like, I'm going to give the world to my kids. Like, maybe the world wasn't given to them from their parents, so they want to give back to their children in a way to what they didn't receive. This is whether they have two people in a home or not. So I'm just this bothers me because this came from somebody who doesn't have children. Okay, guys, like, it's like, what? Really? Whatever. And I said, after he said that, I said, it's sad these days to see men always talking about women like that. They must want a man instead of a woman. Okay. Side language, shame, insult, guilt, and needs to be right when they have no talking points. Laugh out loud. Someone's triggered. I don't even know what that means. So then I said, it's not personal. It's more sad to hear a man put a woman down for something that's not her fault. That's all. I'm sensitive, but in 2023, I have seen men talk about a woman like this in a while. So in 2023, basically what I'm saying is, like, guys, like, I haven't seen a man really talk about a woman like this. Like, this is the first time I've seen this. And this is going to be the last time I see something like this, because this person's getting off this page. Your friends are on my other page. You won't be on this page talking like that. I don't tolerate women. And people got to understand something about me. I am the same about women talking about men. I don't like that. You feel me? You can't be a woman putting down men like that, guys. Like, I don't like that either. So it's kind of like, hey, I don't know. I don't see too many women doing that as much as I do men. And then when women get on this hate train for men, this is where y'all have this debate at. How about we just did it? Okay. So, boom. And I said, and most of the men in 2023 that talk about women like that is gay, which I end up finding out a lot of guys are coming out of the closet. You feel me? I told y'all I dated someone and I was like, oh my gosh, I felt disgusted. And I ain't dated this person since over like 10 years. And me and him was talking. And it was funny. He was like, you know what? The way how these women are nowadays, I really wish that it was cool and open to be with a man, because I really would, because, King Tut. And I'm like, did this man that I dated and spent some of my time on say he would rather date a man than date a woman? I don't give a fuck what's going on. But this is the talk. And he said, most men feel this way. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah. I was like, damn. He's like, yeah. I was like, ooh, I don't even know how to feel about that. Anyways, so then he posts a meme of Kevin Samuels. And I'm thinking to myself, you post the meme of Kevin Samuels. Okay. I said trigger, laugh out loud. That would take a lot for me to be triggered. I could say a lot, but I'm not. I said exactly what was meant to be said. If men are gay now, they just need to come on out of the closet and say they like men instead of women. I have never heard a man who likes women put women down ever. It's only American men who talk about women like this. It's crazy. And people might be like, oh, well, you hold American men accountable. Why are you saying this about American men? Let me tell y'all something. I have dated outside of my culture. And I mean outside of my culture. Because culture to me is American. Now, race would be dating outside of black men in general, Caribbean, Jamaican, Haitian. That's race. To me, race is black people. My culture is African American. Okay, something I don't like to identify as now, but it's true. Like, I am African American all day and tomorrow. So here's what I would say. Okay. Any man that I have ever dated, liked it, I don't really hear them I've never dated a man who said that he'll have kids. I have never heard a man that have kids talk like that. Because men, even who have kids that are separated, don't even put women down when they say, hey, I want to give the world to my son, but you didn't even do that the first time. So you think a world consists of having both parents? Or do you think a world, when women say that we want our kids to have, we've given the world to our kids, we want them to have everything that they really want? Sometimes to some kids, they already came to default to be like, oh, this father isn't in my life. And they're okay with that. Okay. And it's it's really weird to me to actually hear a man talk about women like that. You bashed a whole woman before Valentine's Day. If any woman agrees with what you said, something's wrong. I personally couldn't date a man who has a problem with women. You couldn't get a conversation out of me. Oh, let's date. You don't like women. Why would I date you? You don't like women. Especially you don't like women that's not with the father of her child, is basically what you're saying too. I'm not with the father of my son. So now you're going to say that I didn't give the world to my son, and my son will look at you and say, my mom gave the world to me. So I'm really confused. And he might be like, I'm not applying this to you, but I'm not saying that you are. But what I'm saying is there might be a female that might be very sensitive. Not like myself, but there are women that are sensitive to what he said that could be very highly offended. Especially if you're offending the divine femme energy. Really? You're really sitting up here disrespecting the divine feminine energy. Right now, in 2023, I wouldn't have did that. That's weird to me. I don't know what to say. You feel me? And some people be like, what are you talking about? I don't know what to say. Guys, I'm at all. Because some people be like, well, you're always talking spiritual. Well, I can talk spiritual if I want to talk spiritual. Who are you to tell me I can't talk spiritual? You feel me? And then when you hit people with that, oh, you don't know, who am I to talk? You're saying that I can't talk spiritual. Like, how can I talk spiritual? You feel me? Like, no, that's wrong. I'm not doing that. You won't get that from me. I can talk spiritual, but what I won't do is, I won't sit up there and I will not tolerate. Like, guys, y'all gotta understand something. Me as a person, I won't tolerate hearing or seeing on my page a person who puts down women, especially single parents. I mean, I grew up in a single parent house, and I feel like my mom gave me the world by herself with no help, for real, bare minimum help. So I don't, your logic doesn't make sense. And here you go on this woman hate train. Okay. And it's really weird to me to see and hear a man on the woman hate train. But let's talk about this right here. Pay attention, guys. I want y'all to hear this.
Feminine energy, you better go back and apologize. Disrespect the divine feminine energy. And if you do happen to disrespect the divine feminine energy, you better go back and apologize. When I say we rising in frequency, that means we going back to the divine feminine energy being at her highest point and the divine masculine energy being at its highest point. And for both to be at their highest point, the disrespect of the black God has to stop. Remember, the black woman is God. She created us, and then we created everything else. So we can't disrespect the God and then think we gonna be good. But that's what they manipulated our species to do. In the house, that Sam built. They got us calling our women. I participated myself. Ain't shit. Well, some pussy. That's how I used to think. 17, 18, 19, 20. Regardless of how good my mama ain't raised me like that, but what she had to say. If my daddy ain't teach me the shit, it don't even matter what my mama's saying. That shit on you to listen to your mama from 0 to 13. Once your son hit 13, guys, says, if he ain't got no daddy in his life, I don't give a what you told him. He gonna go out there and find out how to be a man for himself or a God for himself. And that's gonna lead him to not listen to you. And as a mom, it's gonna break your heart. Because you're gonna be like, what I did wrong? But you didn't do nothing wrong. It's just you can't teach him how to be a God. You're a goddess. That's why he need two parents. That's why he got two. That's why that son need two parents. My mama raised me right as fuck. Disrespect the divine feminine energy.
So the whole point to like playing that is because like for real, like a lot of people don't understand is one, like it doesn't make any sense. Okay. You're disrespecting the divine feminine energy of us being at our high. And he is right. Like, yeah, we are raised, and we're supposed to have two people in the home to raise children because they do need that. But a lot of people's like, hey, like he said, like, you know, once he turned 13, the kids go off on their own. The men do. He right. And I think that once we learned that as a woman, we did everything that we were supposed to do, like, we're okay with that. Some women, like, we are okay with that. Them exploring themselves, learning how to be a god themselves. I'm fine with that. I'm okay. Kids deserve to be able to go off on their own and experience what they're supposed to experience. Some people tell them, like, no, they're not supposed to do that. What, we're supposed to control their whole life? Like, no. And that's what people be kind of upset about me. I'd be like, Malachi is not my happiness. My son is not my happiness. I would not put that obligation on my son to be my happiness. That's wrong. No, that's wrong. I am in control of my own happiness. If me having my son made me happy. But is he my happiness? No. Because if my son, whatever he wants to do, that's his responsibility. I'm just here to support him as a parent. Lead and guide him. Hey, you got questions? You need help? I'm going to guide you this way. I can't do anything else but guide you that way. But is my son my happiness? No, not at all. Not one time is my son my happiness. Do he add to my happiness? Like, yeah, to my typical day, yes, my son makes me happy by the things that he do. But is my son my happiness? No, because if I make him my happiness, that means that if something happens to him, that will control a part of my emotions. If he be like, hey, mom, I want to go out and do this. Go do what you need to do, little boy, and I'll be happy to support you. That's it. A lot of times people, they hurt themselves. Take that hurt out. But our kids are not supposed to be our happiness. Happiness comes from within. Yes, my son came from within me, but he's out of me now. So I'm happy. Like the fact that I even carried him made me happy. Like, okay, because it came from within me. But the fact that he's out, like he's not my happiness, no. My happiness comes from within me. So if I say to my son, I'm going to give my son the world, that means that I'm making his world happy. Whatever he would like to assist to make his world better, I'm willing to do that. Okay? And what this guy said, well, if you ain't basically have a father, that's basically what he's saying, in your life, then that means that you basically didn't do your part. And women, I'm here to tell you, you're doing your part. Don't allow no men who like men to tell you what you're not doing for your part. I'm so serious, guys, when I say that. Like, it's crazy. And he's the first guy I've seen disrespect a divine femme this year. But maybe it goes on a lot. But like I said, I don't be on any of my other Facebook pages. Even my first Facebook page that I feel like they're very toxic on, I have not seen them. Like, I've seen a lot of guys like really reverting back to like really respecting women and like being real spiritual. So this is the first person I've seen. And this is what I'm talking about, guys. Some of these men who be like, oh, well, they inbox me and they be like, what are you up to? And I'm like, nothing. And they be like, I see you on your positive vibe stuff. And I'm like, positive vibe? What do you mean by that? Like, people pretend to be spiritual. Like, this got to stop, guys. Like, how you spiritual as a man and you're disrespecting divine femme? Like, what? You're disrespecting women. You're putting women down, because basically what he just did was put a woman down. So you're not going to be a solution to the problem? Oh, well, maybe this man who's in this child's life decided to leave. So now you're talking about this mother who's doing her best to take both parts in one person's life. So yet, not only did you put down a woman, but now you're making fun of a child. How does that make sense? Like, I don't know. I see things from a different perspective with certain things. Like, I look at stuff very logical, but I look at it from so many different perspectives. I'm like, okay, if I was a child and I was going through and I was reading this, how would I feel? I'm hearing a man make fun of a woman, and my mom raised me dolo. And I feel like she's giving me the world. And then what happens if I notice like my mom wants to date? And especially if my mom was dating this guy. So imagine this man dating a woman who has kids. Okay, guys, like, I'm wondering, how would that child feel seeing this being posted? You feel me? And I don't think people think about their actions and things that they say until it actually comes down to it. Like, imagine this man having a kid now, and every time his child goes online, his child sees a statement like this about his mom, because he's not in him and the baby mom's not together. Feel me? That shit is not right, guys. It's not right. It's not logical. It's not ethical. Like, I personally can't date a man who talk about women. I don't know, because I don't talk about men. People are like, what? Like, no. I don't bash men. I'm not a woman who bash men, and I don't join no hate club with men. What I will say is, hey, I notice something that happens with men, but it also happens with women. And I call people out. You feel me? And I'm not saying that women don't make fun of men too, but I also I hold them responsible for what they say too. I don't have no problem in saying, like, hey, this is what I just seen this woman. I don't know why she going in. And I remember I heard a woman say, like, she really went in on the guys. And I'm like, but women are guilty of the John Doe crime too. You feel me? Like, hey, there's a lot of things that women are guilty of that people don't hold people accountable for what they saying, the energy that they're putting out into the universe. So basically what this man just told the universe is that he wanted to date women who only have this type of behavior. Because this is what you focus on. Whatever you focus on is what you attract. I don't know, guys. Like, it's really crazy to me. Actually sitting up there hearing this, seeing this, and it's like, I wonder, like, guys, like, I guess I'm trying to, like, say it and word it a certain way, like, to the point where, because y'all know, like, my pause isn't just me pausing, it's me trying to figure out how I can get what I'm seeing and put it in words. But, like the English language for real. But I wonder if a person actually really thinks about the bigger picture when it comes down to what they say. I was literally just talking to my son's teacher. Prime example. And I said, hey, my son said that you told everybody to shut up. And I looked, my son was like, but mama, when she said that wasn't wrong. Like, she didn't use her words correctly. Okay? Shout out to my son. The first thing I did when he said that was I snapped my head around and I said, was she directly talking to you? And he's like, nah, she was talking to, like, I guess mama, the whole class. Like, I don't know why. She just got really mad. She gets angry. And I don't think she knows how to control her anger. Now, mind you guys, my son is 9, having a full-blown conversation with me like that. You feel me? And the system will deem him as, oh, he has autism. That's a smart little boy to me. Having a conversation with his mom, a 9-year-old little boy, having a conversation with his mom like that, that's very transparent. Like, he knows what she's doing is wrong. And he's like, I don't know why she's talking to us like that. This is what I told Malachi. I said, Malachi, she knows that she's wrong and she should not have told y'all to shut up. Did she apologize? Malachi said, no. I said, see? And I can't be too mad about that because she don't make the kids apologize to each other. So it's really weird. But anyways, make a long story short, I write her. I say, did you tell Malachi? And I wrote her a few days before and I said, well, the kids in your class, the reason why they pick on each other is because it's being taught to pick on each other. Teachers are teachers too. Parents are the first teachers that kids see from. But teachers are the second ones. Okay? So whatever you do, your students typically, however you are, your students resemble who you are. I don't teach kids bad behavior. Oh, yes, you do. Okay, shots fired. So why do I say that she teaches kids this? Prime example. What did you just teach my son? By telling the whole classroom, shut up! Not be quiet. Or get their attention. She said that she only said shut up because everything she was trying wouldn't help, but they actually listened when she said shut up. Okay. So what did you just teach my son? What did you just teach every child in your classroom? If someone doesn't listen to them, you can be disrespectful to them. Say shut up. And I told her, I said, I don't talk like that to my son. I don't tell my son to shut up. And I wish that if my son is in your class and you're talking to my son and the class is being loud, I would prefer you to say, shut up, everybody but Malachi. Please be quiet. So that way he knows that you're not talking to him and he knows that you're distinguishing two different behaviors here. Because obviously you taught kids that, say for instance, when you're talking to black children and some white families, okay? Because I don't know if you've ever been around somebody who's Greek. They're really loud, okay? Like, and shout out to my friend. But they're just as loud as a black family. So if you got people who are, their family talks loud. So imagine, here's what the example I told her. So I said, imagine my family is naturally loud. So imagine my son trying to talk and my family's super loud. Next thing you know, my son just yells over to everybody because nobody's listening to him and says, shut up! My son about to get in trouble. Not by me, but by all the elders there. All the people that semi around my age, like, wow, your son just told everybody shut up and you're not going to do nothing, Keita? Really? That's disrespectful. Hello? Like, really? Wow. I don't even know what to say about that. Like, for real, guys, like, it is so crazy that she just taught my son that. I told her that. I said, I study psychology. Kids' first teacher is their parents. Their second teachers is teachers. You just taught my son to say that he can. Now, here's what she really did on the big picture. You just taught my son to say he can say anything to any situation if it makes him upset. He can cuss a person out. He can yell at a person, but that's not what I did. Yes, that is exactly what you did. You heard the conversation that me and my son had. Like, Mom, she's wrong. This is, if I was to say, and Mama, she's teaching kids this, she's wrong. He ain't wrong. She wrong. Like, you went around literally telling people, kids, children, to shut up. And now you're mad that if one day they in your classroom and you're not listening to them, and while you're talking, they tell you to shut up and listen to me, you can never be mad. Okay? You can never be mad. You want to know why you can never be mad? You can never be mad because this is what you taught them to do. You taught them how to treat you at this point. Because that's how you treated them. And it's sad to say it that way, but that's what happened in this situation. And it's like, I don't know, like, protect our children. But I don't think you should be a teacher if you're teaching kids bad behavior. And I guess she kind of got mad because in the conversation we had the day before, you was teaching a child a bad behavior. Okay? I can never be mad if you taught a child that. At any point moving forward, you call me about my son, I'm going to say, well, you taught him that. He didn't teach himself that. You did. He don't act like that at home. He only act like that with you because this is the behavior he's learning to do in your classroom. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at yourself. You have that. You gotta own up to your half. I'm not responsible for your half. You're only responsible for your half. Like, real talk. You're responsible for your half, and people be mad because I'd be like, I'm not going to constantly keep fixing your half. I only can fix my own. Like, that's it. But lately, what I've been doing is holding people responsible for their half only. And I keep telling her, hey, you can never be mad at Malachi if he talked to you like that. If Malachi and the kids in that classroom tell you to shut up, you can't be mad because that's what you told them to do. Hey, so imagine you sitting in classroom and my son need a question answered and he got his hand up and you talking, he tell you to shut up and listen to my question. You can never be mad because that's what you told him. Or if my child or any other child in that classroom, my son, he's not going to do that. My son, he's very respectful. If you ever met him, you're like, oh, I love him. My son's very respectful. He's not going to do that. But if the other kids in your classroom do that, you can never be mad. Because this is what you taught children to do. To do exactly that. The behavior that you did. It's crazy, but some people don't like to be responsible for their half. And she's like, well, I didn't do that. I try to be a model for them. How are you a model by telling these children to shut up? Really? What happens if a parent never talks to their child like that? Which I don't. So my child comes home, he's telling me that you're saying shut up. What do you mean? That doesn't make any sense. So at some point, I have to hold you responsible for your half. I'm not going to be responsible for your half. You teaching a child something that's horrible. Like, no. So, I don't know, guys. Like, for real. Like, guys, like what you put out, you can never be mad if your child reflects this energy. Teachers can't be mad if you're teaching my child something than what I'm teaching him and he only acts this way with you and there. I'm going to assume that you taught him this behavior on how to act in your classroom. Guys, hold people accountable for their actions. Like, hey, maybe my child wouldn't have said that if you didn't say that. You feel me? And the one thing I told Malachi, I was like, Malachi, sometimes people don't know how to control their anger. Sometimes people don't know how to talk to children. She's a prime example. Is what she did is right? No, Malachi, nothing she did was right at all. But please believe that she will be held accountable for her actions. At all times, like you are, at some point, she's not doing what her heart loves, or maybe this is the behavior that she thinks is okay. I wouldn't tell nobody else's child to shut up. Like, that's on their parents. I might be like, hey, be quiet. But shut up? That's kind of harsh. That's harsh for children's spirits. That's harsh for my spirit. So I can imagine a child's spirit. It's crazy that my son just like, he calls her out on things. Like, he's like, Mom, I don't understand why she calls us lunatics. Like, there's nothing else different than she can say than lunatics. Like, she's talking about us. And I keep telling her, I said, the reason why kids talk about people in your classroom is because you have made it okay to talk about people. Oh, I didn't do that. Did you call these kids lunatics? Oh, yeah, but I did it in this text. This opened the door for them to talk about each other. And once you start talking about children in your classroom, calling them names other than their first names, they're going to assume that it's okay to talk about other children. Because guess what? You started this. You opened the doorway. People be thinking like, oh, I didn't do it like that. Once you open one doorway, you open a doorway to everything else. Doesn't matter however you see this. You open the door for this. You opened the door for this. Not me. You did. Like, period, point blank. You open the door to this behavior. In general, you open a door, you say one thing, oh, you kids are lunatics. My son was like, why is she talking about us like that? This is exactly what he called home. He said, Mom, what does the teacher mean by calling us lunatics? I said, I don't know, Malachi. Like, what was she saying before and after so I could make context? He said, I don't think it's right. My son said, Mama, I don't think it's right that she calls us lunatics. I don't think that's right. And that's exactly what he said. Like, this is me in a conversation. This is when he was 8. But this is a conversation that me and my son had. Like, this happened in like November. My son, well, actually, what was that? October the 31st. And I think she said it again before, like earlier October. And she said it in November. She says it. So each month it's like she's calling them lunatics. She's calling them out their names. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, because she's just saying like, oh, they're lunatics. Like, they're wild. And I'm like I said, but Mama, that's wrong. He's right. He's right all day tomorrow. Yes, that's wrong. No child should be called, no children, no classroom should be called a lunatic. Like, that is not right. So at some point, to me, in general, she does not, this teacher shouldn't be teaching 3rd grade kids, okay? Like, in general, like, you're teaching them the wrong behavior. I can never be mad at my son for talking about another child in that classroom, because what happens is you taught them how to talk about other kids. I remember she did a game that I believe that only adults do. The fact that she brought it to the 3rd grade really blew my mind. She said, I want them to tell 3 lies and 1 truth. So now you're trying to teach kids how to lie correctly. Hey, you could give 3 lies out and 1 truth and they're okay. And I'm like, I really don't want my son to participate in this. And she's like, why? I said, because why would I want, you're teaching my son to lie. I'm not trying to teach him to lie. I don't want him to tell a false story. I always want him to tell the real story. So if he do tell a fake story, it's because you taught him that. People don't like to be held responsible for their behavior. What did you do to these 3rd grade kids? You taught them how to lie. Give me 3 lies and 1 truth. Why would you even introduce that to a 3rd grader? To a child that probably might not lie at all. Now you're teaching them, they're like, what? I can make up stuff and people and teach people how to believe me. Now you're teaching manipulation. That's what she don't realize she just did. You're teaching kids how to manipulate with this one activity, when they probably never did that before. My son was trying to figure out, like, why did he have to do this activity? Like, I'm telling you, my son is intelligent. Like, I love that little boy. He's trying to figure out, why does he have to do this activity? It doesn't make sense. Why? He's like, Mama, why do I have to lie about what the stuff that I like? I don't know. Why would I have to do that? I don't want to do this. And I told her, I was like, I really don't want my son to participate in this activity, but I also don't want you to not give him points for not participating, because you're teaching him how to lie and how to manipulate a lie, how to trick people with the truth. That's what you did to all those 3rd graders in your class. Congratulations. Real is real, fake is fake. Okay. But I guess, like, my little rant today, guys, is like, hold people responsible for their talk. Technically, I didn't have to say anything to the guy. I could have just went on, but something just kept telling me, like, look at the story. And I'm like, man, let me look at this story. And I see what he wrote. And I was like, man, why would you put a woman down for saying she wants to give the world to her son? And then your counter argument is like, you couldn't even give him a dad. So women gotta take care of a child, but also take care of another child, which is a whole man she's sleeping with. She got to make him be a dad to her son. That's not her responsible. She's not responsible for that. She's only responsible for her half only. That's it. That's all women are responsible for, our half only. And if we take on a man's half, because typically that's how this world's set up, it's not that, hey, we have a baby and the baby goes to dad automatically. No, if a woman has a baby, the baby goes to mom automatically, and dad gets to do whatever he wants to do. But when the system start holding men accountable the same way they do women, yeah, all right. I guarantee you that won't be the same talk at all. It's crazy, but it's real. No lie. It's a real statement. It's a real thing, and it is what it is at the end of the day when it's all said and done. Okay. Well, I'm going to get off here, guys, because, I got to go do my thing when I do my Wayne. Here's what I want to say. I am doing a Valentine's Day giveaway, guys. I am going to drop the code here in a second, and whoever listens to this and whoever sends out the code first to me on any social media platform, TikTok, Snapchat, what else? TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook. I'm going by timestamp. So whoever timestamps me or reach out to me, if you got my phone number or anything, like, you get the Valentine's Day package. I said packet. Package. Okay. So I do have some, make sure y'all know, like, the treats are, they do have, marijuana in them. So they are made with marijuana. So they are treats like that. They're Valentine's Day treats. I have some cocoa butter. I have some spray, some lotion, a candle, and some crystals that I will put in the Valentine's Day basket giveaway. A little, a token from me to you. A few people supported this giveaway. Shout out to Nikki Flavors. Woo. And then we have Tashira, the Cocoa Goddess. And then we have me, Pretty Red ENT, Goddess Nikita. We're always with the ones and twos. I love giving away. I love showing love on Valentine's Day. But remember, guys, like, if you want to win the gift basket, please inbox me. And this is the code you must say. You got to say it exactly the way. You can't just come on there and be like, chip, 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 chip. No, you have to say everything that I'm saying. So the code is this, okay? Guys, the code is saying, love conquers all. Love is the only way. Okay? Love conquers all. Love is the only way. And whoever inboxes me first wins the gift basket. The Valentine's Day giveaway, okay? Like, I don't know, I might throw some flowers in there too. I'm really, I'm really over the board when it comes to love. But Valentine's Day, I'm really over the board because I feel like we need to be loving. We need to love on each other. We need to love on women. We need to love on men. You feel me? I'm a woman. I love Valentine's Day. I wish I had a man because, boy, they would love me on Valentine's Day. They'd be like, boy, I give it to her. She gives back. Yes, I do. I love gifts. And one of my love languages is gifting. You feel me? I give to my friends flawlessly and freely. Like, here you go. Like, I remember my sis, she recently said to me, I was like, yeah, I'm making candles. I'm like, I'm going to give it. She's like, well, why you ain't get one to me? I'm like, sis, I always give you candles. I mean, I have no problem with that. I'm like, all you got to do is ask. I give you one. Here. I have no problem. Like, you feel me? Like, but my sister sure be like, okay, we ain't gonna give too many candles away for free. But I do. I like giving, like, away stuff. Like, because giving is, like, what am I telling? Okay, first of all, spiritual thing. What am I telling the universe by me giving? I am willing to receive. I'm giving. And the universe is like, since you're giving, I'm giving back. I'm telling you, the universe is showing out. The universe is like, oh, you gave something out? Okay. Boom! Here go my tenfold. And it's not like I'm giving to actually receive something back. I'm really actually giving just to give it back. Like, here, you can have it. Like, I have no problem in doing that. Like, I love giving. Like, if I love you and you're my friend or you're a part of my soul tribe, I give to them all the time, like, flawlessly. Like, here, I might send you something out the blue. Like, I'm known for that. I remember one time I took my time out on Easter for some of my friends that were single parents, and I sent their kids an Easter bag. Boom. And from both women, it was crazy because the one girl who I gave it to, she said, man, I was just trying to figure out how I was going to give my daughter an Easter bag thing, and because I was kind of low on money. You actually helped me out. Like, yeah, you didn't even really know it. I really appreciate it. And her daughter was like, I love you, 80. I was like, I love you too. And my other soul sister, she was like, sis, thank you. I haven't none of my friends really ever did that before. Like, thank you. You feel me? I think I did it to like 4 kids, actually. Matter of fact, I was supporting a black woman. She made Easter eggs baskets, but she was going around making them. And I was like, all right, well, here. Boom. Because she makes them for a lot of guys in prison when they want to send them out to their kids. So that's how her business really is. Like, she take orders from guys in prison and send them out to their children. So I was like, hold on, let me get on there. I was like, how much is she charging for the baskets? I was like, boom, let me get I think I ordered like 4 or 5 of them. And I gave them out to single parents. Not saying I couldn't give it out to people who had 2 parents in the house, but this was my choice to do that way. Because I know how I feel sometimes, like you're a single parent. Sometimes it do be hard. Around Easter, we have this thing where our culture, we got to get our kids dressed up in brand new outfits and get them candy and all this for one holiday. Like, sometimes it can be hard. You feel me? And I wanted to give back because, I like when people do that for me and my son. But was I expecting them to send my son something back? No, I don't expect that back. If they do it, that just means that they match my energy. That's all that is. Like, and then I remember I sent the basket to another girl. And the way how I did it was so slick. They never knew that I was sending them a basket. So they got to understand, so I'm slick on my shit. Especially if I'm doing doing like a giveaway or something. I'm slick with it. Like, I'm like, hey, how do you spell your kids' names? Oh, I might go on their Facebook page and read, like, people, they always shouting out their kids, and I read how they spell their kids' names, and I send it to them. And the one girl I sent it to, she was crying. And she thanked me. She was like, I just met you. Like, you are a different human being. You're not normal. Like, I've been friends with people my whole life that have never, ever did what you did. Like, yeah, they'll show up for birthday parties, but you came through on the Easter. Like, that's crazy. Like, I love you. And I was like, I love you back, and don't thank me, thank the Most High. Don't thank me, thank God. If you appreciate me in your life, like, really shout out to your angels and ancestors if I'm in your life. Like, real talk. Shout them out. And I say that because, like, I can't say that I ain't who I am, because people love me. The people who have me in their life, I promise you, they love me. Like, I am one of the coolest people. I am like a friend. Like, boy, I'm loyal to default. Like, the only way that our relationship can be messed up as a friend is if you mess it up and we have a talk and it's like, you know what, maybe this isn't working for both of us. And I'm okay with that. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people not okay with that. I am okay with that. So I gotta say that, guys, to the point where it is what it is, but I love the people that's in my life, and my love language with my friends, you get what I'm saying? I love gifting, but I love kids. If I know you have a kid and I know you're a single parent, sometimes I take my time out to do extra steps with kids, with single parents, and even people who do got 2 parents in the house. Like, I do stuff for their kids too. You feel me? I have no problem with that, but it is what it is. You feel me? I love giving, but I like the kids, especially if I mess with your kids. I really love children. So it's like, if I mess with your kids and your kids are around me, I'm going to give to them because I give to my kid. I don't have no problem at all with that. So I'm just throwing that out there. But guys, I used to have to say, like, Keita love the kids. You remember where Trick Daddy's like, Trick love the kids. But I love the kids. So Keita do love the kids. Shout out to me. But I just wanted to throw that out there and send some love and light out into the world and just all together just bring awareness to different things, guys. But make sure you text me the code if you want to win the Valentine's Day giveaway. Just know that the treats are what they are. Like, and if you don't smoke or nothing, I suggest that you just say, hey, I'll take everything besides the treats and I will do another giveaway for the treats. Okay, like whatever you don't want, I'll give another giveaway for that. But all right, guys, like shout out. I'm sending love and light out into the world. I love y'all. And if no one told you they loved y'all today, just know I love you for real. And I'm wishing you the best. I hope y'all have the best weekend ever. I'm going to come on later and do an energy read. I know I got to give y'all an energy read for the weekend when I'm feeling the energy ass. And I just want to tell y'all, make sure y'all stay focused on you. Do the things that make you happy or figure out what is your happiness. I'm going to talk about that on my next episode too, about happiness. Because a lot of people got happiness messed up and I'm going to help you out with that, okay? But make sure y'all follow me on my webpage. Go show my webpage some love at the Pretty Red ENT Show. .podbean.com. Show me some love on there. But make sure y'all tune in. I'm on all major platforms: Amazon, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts. Tap in, zoom in. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to the Pretty Red ENT Show.